to have. Actually, there's even a scripture, guys. I came prepared. It's a sin whereby God.
I was hoping we're not going to take it to the Bible.
Paul, no, by the way, if you go to the Bible, like Paul talked about it to say you must be a man of what, but
I get that.
but also from if you want to go to the Bible, I don't want to go too much into
You're
it.
not going to go.
Because
But I want to
when
read
you
something
bring the Bible
short.
into it now, it's
I want to
gonna-
talk about reality. What is really
it's just
happening?
gonna, yeah,
Because
because
if you talk about the Bible, people are like, no, this guy Abraham even slept with the helper. Oh no, this guy
you would have
Solomon
to try to justify
what?
it.
How
and
many
whatnot.
wives? How many concubines? You know those kind of things.
you would
right?
have to give the whole history, not a
Not just a
portion,
single,
not
yeah.
2 verses or a verse. There would have to be a context behind the actual 2 verses or 1 verse that you're talking about. You know what I mean?
But the
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
why I'm saying this is because, remember, we are shying away from accepting polygamy and monogamy. The reason why is because we grew up with the mentality that in the Bible, what they talk about is a man should have 1 wife, a man should be loyal to 1 wife, and so forth. And then that's the reason why we think having 2 or more people in your life, it's a sin.
Mm-hmm.
And we do not want to be involved in such things.
In sinning.
In sinning. Because there's way in Thessalonians where God says, if you date someone's husband, I'm going to punish you. I am going to punish you. So I'm saying we are scared. Sometimes it's not about greed, yes, I understand, but sometimes we are scared because we know
But okay, let
definitely.
me ask you this: Are you scared because of what the Bible says, or because that's who you are?
It
'Cause
comes
this is
to
the
it.
thing.
That's the thing. There's
There's
who you are
right?
at the core as a
Yeah.
human being, and then there is doctrines.
That says you cannot do 1, 2, 3, 4 because you are this and that. And we're talking to
And-
even a lot of other people who are not that.
Yes.
as well.
Can I say something as well when it comes to the being you and being indoctrinated? For me, not everyone is a religious person, right? Some people are on some. When before the white man came to South Africa or Africa, where was this religion? Where was this God of yours? You know, some people are like that. Are like, why should I conform to what a white man brought to us as an African, as African people? Where was this
The
thing
tradition,
before?
But
we?
look, she said something about the whole thing of being jealousy and all that. Let me tell you this now. I think for me, from my perspective, men are the most jealous people.
True.
That's why men don't want to share. And this is why, because you find that even all these cultural things and all these things about polygamy and all this, you find that it's men who sort of like started that whole culture. Because men, and this polyandry part of it, we, as men, we don't even want to hear about it.
So
The first thing is that we are jealous, we are more jealous.
We cannot
And
run
that's
away
why
from. When you're speaking of that, we cannot run away from misogyny and patriarchy.
You know, those are the kind of things that, but you know, we need to
you're
then
coming to
shape
us with heavy words.
for the. No,
You're
yeah,
coming
you
to
should
us with
explain.
heavy
But
words, Lonely.
the
You want us
biggest,
to come here with dictionaries.
anyway, my point is that the biggest challenge that we have is that most of these things were done or were started by men to satisfy their own desires.
Yes, their
And
selfishness.
when you
They came
want,
up with it to
if you
satisfy
go
their
and cheat right
selfishness.
now, if you go and cheat or you say you want to take a second husband, the man is most likely going to leave. This is what happens. If a woman,
That's what I wanted to ask you. Like, if you okay, me and you, we are married. I allow you to go out there and have multiple partners. But would you allow me
oh
to
hell
have?
no.
Why not?
Oh,
It should
no,
be.
it's me.
It's a two-way stream. This thing. It can't
No,
always
it's
be.
not.
If
So-
you
so-
love me, you must allow me. You must
Let
let
me
me.
ask you something, guys.
Okay.
Do we as human beings really understand the concept of being with one person forever, ever,
We
don't.
and ever,
For better,
ever?
for worse,
Do you know how
until death do us
hard
apart.
that thing is?
I don't know. I've not been married for too long.
But
So-
just the psychology behind being I'm not saying it's not possible.
What
Don't get me
drives
wrong.
that then?
Don't get me
No,
wrong.
I want to get to this.
You
What
get to
drives
it.
that desire to
wanna
that
have
thing
another
that
partner.
says, when I think about being with one person forever, like that thing I don't think I'm wired for
But
it. What drives that?
encourage forever.
You know why
What
someone
drives
would say that? It's because as human beings, we evolve, first of all. Our thoughts evolves. We grow, we learn. The person I was 5 years ago is not the same person. It's not the person I am now. The person I'm going to be 10 years from now
might be different.
Might be very different. So
But should the core
the
of you as a
psychology
human being-
and the psyche, like when you think about it and you're like, will I?
But should the
20
core
years
change?
from now.
Should the core change with this evolution? Should the core of you being a human being change? Because now those are the kind of things that brings about how you interact with the world. It starts from within.
I'm gonna go back to what I think the core is. For me, the core, love.
You want to be loved, you want to belong, you want to all those
So
things.
my thing would probably be just because I am with one person, it does not mean that I can't be with another person. Because that love will still be there. Like I'm saying, 10 years from now, yes, I will still be in love with you as my partner, or 20 years from now. But is it going, first of all, be enough in terms of accommodating the person that you will be 20 years from
Guys,
now?
I have a question.
But
This
okay,
question
here's
is
the
killing
thing.
me.
Yeah, okay.
This
So
question
here's
is
the
killing
thing.
me.
What is it? Let's say you're getting into you are in a relationship. Like you decide, okay, no, this thing of being with one person. I'm just taking from what you say. One person, it might not really work. What is that need that you'll be wanting to satisfy by getting a second person?
But you wouldn't know until you are actually in that position. Right now, we are just we're having this conversation based on what we think.
Guys, thank you. Those
Because we are
ones who
not there.
are live and joining us, thank you so much. We have Semi on the line, and Semi is asking you a question. Semi is saying, you cannot separate a person from their culture or religion. We come into the world as vacuums and get filled through socialization, which is through experience of our culture, traditions and religions. So a person is a person, does not have morals, cannot behave away from their still goes on from their socialization. So neglecting tradition and religion is not possible if we have to get a holistic understanding of human behavior or an individual. And should I say this person is a psychologist? So guys,
okay, but here's the thing. I want to talk to that.
Yes,
Can I
answer
talk to
him.
that?
So I read
Answer him.
something once.
I want to
Answer
talk
him.
to that now.
Yes.
The thing about tradition and culture, it evolves, guys. What used to be the norms, the standards in
It has changed.
1605, in 16 whatever, when Jan van Riebeeck arrived in South Africa, has evolved. So, for example, I'm Venda, right? There will be a certain culture, traditions and norms of how we do things from that side. When you are Zulu or you Tsonga, there's certain things that happens. And with us black cultures, they're more like, I don't want to use entangled, but they are more like similar.
The word of the week.
There's certain things that are similar when it comes to that. But the truth is that we need to be, the culture that was there with our forefathers has evolved. Now we are interacting together. We are meeting in universities, we are meeting in high schools, we are meeting everywhere, we are marrying in different cultures.
Yes.
Now, the moment you start marrying in different cultures, my kids have the side of the Peli side and the Venda side. Then they are being brought up with that. And now we are starting to converge into one culture. And that culture will be shaped by that generation. That's my take. So what we're trying to talk about now is to say, if this polygamy and all these things were happening then, how do we as today look at it from the generation that we are, and how will this thing look like later? Because it will change.
True.
But we are trying to say there are things that are core. This is what I mean. There are things that are core to a human being. For me to be called a human being, there are core things that those values, those characters, those things will never change. And those are the things that will shape us. And obviously, like the person is saying that the environment which you grew up in, the tradition will shape how you behave, how you interact with others, how you view things. But do you know that if you are Tonga, and then you get taken and be placed in KZN where it's Zulus, do you know what you're going to learn? The Zulu way of doing things.
Yes.
You're gonna learn that, and you're gonna grow up being Zulu, although you're Tonga. So those but now we're interacting a lot, and that's why I'm saying, from the women point of view, what do you guys think about these things like polygamy, all this kind of things?
Can I read something? Okay, there was just so much before this, but I'm gonna start it from here. This is usually when people are looking for something that works, maybe because of seeing parents getting divorced or relationships not working out. Even people who are in love in a relationship, they are constantly having conversations about alternatives. Because being married to one person forever is no child's play. The scary thing that people shy away from is the feeling of feeling like the person you are in love with is falling in love with somebody else. And that insecurity and fear just eats us alive. Truth of the matter is, we need to overcome fear and the insecurity and evolve out of it. That transmute that to something new and different that can be helpful and make us love more and more freely. Some people feel like monogamy inhibits you from learning those skills, skills of unlearning to insecurity and fear as well. So some people feel like monogamy inhibits you from learning those skills of evolving past those feelings of insecurity and just jealousy. Monogamy has different stages, and it can give you the same thing in a different way. And then this person says, problem or the issue with monogamy is when it's, oh no, you can't do this, and if you do it, then you don't love me, and everything falls apart once that's the case. It feels like it's not a healthy way to love a person, to limit them and tell them that you can't do this and you can't do that. There's no freedom in that. In as much as we know that divorce is an epidemic and it's an emotional desert out here. People are looking for things that you're like, hey, when's la, you know? It's an emotional desert out here, and people are trying to find meaning in true love and compassion, as well as how to connect in the most authentic way. The last part of this is it's about creating the mind of a relationship you want, the kind of a relationship you want for yourself. It's about creating a community it's interconnected, compassion and communication and love, and it's really about the evolution of human relations and emotions.
Okay, guys, I have a question.
Yes.
Will you, I think I've heard in terms of what you were saying, Lundi, in terms of being open and all that, would you get into a polygamous relation, marriage rather? Would you prefer monogamy? Do you want to be with one person for the rest of your life? Or do you want to also, even just relationship or marriage, do you want to also go out there and try and be open with your partner to say, maybe let's try this, see how it works, and if we are happy for that. Let's try those things. Are you guys open to doing that, or you feel it's not supposed to be? And this is going to lead me to my next question.
Can I please? For me, I'll say I'd rather be in a polygamous relationship because of, remember, I have my reasons. Like, I cannot be with in a polygamous relationship whereby I'm married to a man who's married to multiple women, because he is giving me a chance to my body to relax. You understand? So hence I'm saying,
Someone actually
As
said
long
something
as-
about that statement.
as long
So you guys are that tired.
So what I'm saying is, I'd rather be in a polygamous relationship whereby I know if I had him on Tuesday or Wednesday, I know Thursday and Friday is gonna be with someone else who is gonna be leaving me to, rest. So yes, but I'm against monogamy because I don't think I can take it.
So okay, let me understand this. So you are for polygamy, as in your husband
Marries other
but
women.
and then the other side, polyandry, you marrying more, multiples.
Wait, which
No,
one
he
is
won't.
which?
She won't, because she just said she cannot take the D like that.
Oh yeah,
But,
she
but I
can't.
can also do what's the other one?
Polyamorous.
Polyamory.
Yeah.
Polyamory I can do. Why? Because we have fences, guys. Let's be honest. So I wouldn't mind being in a relationship of 3 or 4 knowingly. Like we know, like it's me, like but I would say yes. I wouldn't mind. The only thing I'm against is monogamy,
You
whereby
don't want that.
I'm the one who's marrying 2 or 3.
I get you.
Oh, that's the
Ideally,
polyamory.
for me, ideally, it would make sense to be in a monogamous relationship or monogamous.
Idea.
Yeah, or monogamous marriage.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Mm.
But this is, in reality, I honestly, I'm as open as a book here.
Okay.
I'm as open as a book, because honestly, sometimes, also, we must understand that these relationships are not only about sex, bruh. They're not only about
That's
sex.
why I was asking, what other needs are you trying to fulfill?
There are things that you are with your partner, you love your partner, or you really like your partner, whatever the case may be. But you know he or she lacks upi. Whether
But the communication is good, but she lacks somewhere else.
somewhere.
Did you
So
want to compensate that?
if you are a kind of person, that part that he lacks is very important to you.
Okay.
Maybe that's when you'll be open and be like, you know what? Maybe I can bring in this person, because this person brings that thing.
And
into
she
the
might teach
relationship.
a thing or two.
But then again, it goes back to this thing with nothing is perfect.
True.
It goes back to that.
So you guys are looking for a perfect. So what are you doing? So when you're getting multiple partners, are trying to build that one
perfect,
person.
which is impossible.
Guys, let me ask you
Can
this.
I say something before
Okay.
you ask that question? There's something I have learned over the past 2 years, Uguti. Personally, I thought it was okay to be with a person because you're in love with them. And that's it.
That's it. All it takes
But
is
I
love.
have learned that you can be in love with the person and not really like them.
Yes, that's
For
another
me,
issue.
That's
for
when
me,
it comes to marriage.
I need to
marry
like
someone
you.
for 5
Like
years,
I really
and
need
then
to
the
like
next
you.
says you don't like them.
Love is every day, but I need to like you. Like I honestly need to like you, because there are times where I'm with a person and he would do something that really annoys me, like that
Okay.
gets me to the
Guys,
to the core.
okay, I know, I wish we had a whole lot of time, but we're drawing to a close. But there's one question that I want to ask. If you guys are open and all that, and we know, like in South Africa, for example, there's less men, and men will use that as an
Apparently
excuse.
around the world.
Yeah, like let's bring it home. Like, let's just say in Pretoria, there's less men than women. Now, over and above that, we always say no. The other men are also in jail. The others are gays and all that. They prefer men. So that means if they prefer men, then you guys don't really. You're not spoiled for choice.